impressed me so far this season. Let's start off with players that are not rookies. Let's start off with some guys that have had some great years. Quentin Johnston. This is a receiver that's the best receiver on the Chargers right now. Who would have thought that? First 2 seasons, a lot of drop issues. People were quick to label him a bust. But this season, he's been the best weapon for the Chargers. He's 3rd in receiving yards right now, 22 catches, 4 receiving touchdowns. He's been the deep play threat. He was expected to be the yak guy, the great TCU receiver he was in college. Man, he's been that. Breaking tackles, making guys miss, breakaway speed. The confidence is there. That's why a coach like Jim Harbaugh makes such a huge impact. Guys like this could elevate themselves after a poor start to their career. Johnson had 70-plus yards 3 times in his first 32 games. This season, he's had that in each of the 4 games. So they're getting him the ball easily. 13 targets against the Giants. He's getting double-digit targets. He's finding the end zone every game. So he's just been a huge, impactful player for the Chargers. This is honestly one of the top fantasy receivers, too. We can look at him potentially having a 1,000-yard season this year. I think he'll continue the confidence he started off. I mean, the separation's been great. He's been fantastic against man coverage, so he doesn't look like he's gonna slow down anytime soon. Pat Surtain was going against him when they played the Broncos and shadowing him. That's where we've gotten with Quentin Johnston. And Quentin Johnston still had 8 catches, 89 yards receiving, and a touchdown. Crazy. He just needed time, and now he's potentially morphing himself into a star. Javonte Williams with this Cowboys team has resurrected his career as well. 2nd in the NFC with, rushing yards, with total rushing yards. Tied for 2nd in the NFL for total rushing touchdowns. And he's 5th in the NFL for rushing yards. 63 carries, 312 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5 yards per carry. He's been dominant. Against the Bears, he had a big game. Each of these last games against the Packers had a pretty solid outing too. He's finding the end zone. He's, not going down on the first tackle, fighting for extra yardage. He's been an absolute steal for $3 million. He's exceeded expectations too. This is a nice fantasy RB too if you have him. I think he's going to run for 1,000 yards this season. And a funny fact, he's outproduced Saquon Barkley this year. That's where we've gotten with Javonte Williams, too. Brian Burns is having a fantastic year. He's leading the NFL in sacks. He has 20 pressures this season, 13 stops, 11 hurries, 3 pass breakups, and he has 5 sacks on the season. I think he's going to be an all-pro this season. Right now, he's on pace for an 85 pressure season and 17 sacks. I think he can get 17 sacks. And the celebration he has is fantastic. Spider-Man, he does it really well. Very agile, fast off the edge. Spin move is insane. So this is somebody that's wreaked a lot of havoc, and this Giants defense is only going to get better because of a guy like this. So the Giants made the right decision trading for him. And this team with a lot of momentum, who knows? Things could get even better for them. Alquin Muhammad has been a special player for the Detroit Lions. He had 2.5 sacks against the Baltimore Ravens, 2 TFLs. He, kind of limited Lamar Jackson damn near himself. He's the best player on the field that game, and against the Bears had a sack too. So he's been a very reliable Robin for Aiden Hutchinson. Marcus Davenport going down, hurt this defensive, line, this pass rush, but he's been a huge upgrade on this defensive line. Was great last season too, pretty productive. I think he had 3 sacks in 9 games as a, reserve guy, but so far he's taken a step in the right direction. Always has had those traits, hard worker, hustler, but with the Bears, it didn't work out for him. Yeah, his production kind of went down the drain, but now he's elevated himself on this Detroit Lions defense. So credit to this defensive staff and, him taking those next steps. Carl Granderson for the Saints, he's been phenomenal this year. He had, 3.5 sacks in 2 games. So far this season, he has 4.5 sacks, 20 tackles. He's been one of the biggest reasons why the Saints defense has been solid, been impressive. He's been the best player on the field at times. He's 6'5", 270 pounds, but he's fast. He can move. So he's been beating tackles all season with, a combination of moves, being fast off the edge with his effective other pass rush moves. So this is a guy that can do it all, versatile, good against the run too. So him and Cam Jordan have been on a heater. Both of those guys have made the Saints defensive line a nightmare for offensive lines to go against. Byron Young is another guy that's been really impressive this season. 5 sacks on the season. Since coming into the NFL in 2023, 20 sacks he's registered. He has great hands, great athlete, more of a guy that gets home off stunts. But this season, he's improved his pass rush ability. He's, been using a lot of other moves, and he's pretty quick. 4.43, 40 for a big man, 6'2", 250 pounds, but very quick off the edge. He's been a nightmare for offensive lines, and just another young player on this defensive line that's been a monster. Jared Verse, obviously, is the guy that a lot of people talk about, but Byron Young is somebody you need to keep an eye out for. He'll have double-digit sacks this season. And he hasn't even reached his ceiling yet. So far, 23 tackles, 5 sacks, like I said, 7 TFLs on this season. Now let's get into my rookies. Quentin Johnston hasn't played that many games. He missed all of training camp. I think he missed week 1, too, but in 3 football games, he's been dominant. Before this last week, before week 4, he was the best rookie running back in the NFL. Amarian Hampton had a big week. Ashton Genty had a big week, but Quentin Johnston has been consistent as hell. And he's getting even more touches now. 237 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and against the Green Bay Packers, he was pivotal for them getting that victory, running out the clock, running that defense, fighting for extra yardage, being the best player on this offense, carrying this offense to victory because Joe Flacco has been not that great. But he's breaking tackles. He's been a force. He still has home run hit ability. He's turning plays that should be 2 yards into 14-yard gains, 34-yard gains. Just he's not going down after the first tackle. It's taken 3-4 guys to bring him down. He's delivering punishment, and he's great with yards after contact, has great contact balance, is finishing runs, like I said. So this guy's a problem. He can make great cuts, elusive as fuck still too with his bigger frame being a physical power back. The Browns may have found their next like Nick Chubb. Emeka Egbuka obviously has been special. He's kind of somebody that could win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He leads all rookies with receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and so far he's been the best receiver on this team with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, all the weapons Baker Mayfield has. He's been that reliable guy. 77-yard touchdown against the Eagles in a game he really wasn't looked at that much, but consistently he's making an impact. His presence is felt. 18 catches, 282 yards on the season. He's impressed me a lot. I thought he was going to be good, but this is somebody that could put up 1,000 yards in his rookie season and win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's lived up to all the hype. I really like Cam Skattebo. I think this is somebody that could run for 1,000 yards too this season. Physical back. He just loves to hit. He just loves to battle. I saw, the Jackson Dart touchdown. He's like, I told you I was going to run through his face. That's the type of player he is. Super physical, imposes his will over a grown-ass man. Really good receiving back, too. Had 60 yards receiving against the Chiefs and a rushing touchdown against the Chiefs. So he could do it on both ends. Every down back. For the Giants, he's going to be their playmaker. They're a guy that Jackson Dart looks to now with Malik Neighbors out. But looking at Jackson Dart, looking at Cam Skattebo, Malik Neighbors, this defense, the future looks bright for the Giants. They could be a contender in the next couple years. But so far in 3 games, 2 rushing touchdowns, 181 yards rushing, 79 yards rushing against the Chargers. A dominant performance by him. You felt every one of those 79 yards. And 98 yards receiving. So this is a guy that I think will have a big year. Think he could run for 1,000 yards and have maybe 600 yards receiving. Harold Fanta Jr. has also been a really surprise at the tight end position. The Cleveland Browns have looked to him a lot. He's been one of their best weapons. I think with Dylan Gabriel in the mix now starting, that's somebody that, he looks to a lot. A guy that's always open, has that receiver ability, receiver type of, feel to him at the tight end position.
Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.